Hey everybody, welcome back for another Space Engineers. We've been doing quite a bit off camera, nothing particularly major besides the ship that we we talked about last time of disassembling the one we were casting and doing the other one. We made some minor changes to the blueprint from when we were casting it to take out a lot of the more advanced stuff so it's a more basic build. And then we were doing a lot of work to expand the pad outside, and we actually underestimated it, and we need to build more. So that is the OG, the one that me and my brother designed together. This is it was the most base model I could find. Since, as I said before, I lost my blueprint. I didn't lose them. They're on my old computer. I just haven't loaded it up and everything. So I had to get the blueprints from my brother, and this was one of the earliest stages he had of the OG, so I had to spawn it in creative and then pretty much delete all the different advanced things that I didn't want on the blueprint and then make a new blueprint, and that's what this one is. I left on all these little ion thrusters that will get built later, but I took off pretty much all the big ion thrusts. At least I think I did. These big or small ones? Small, okay. So we've already done the tour of the more advanced version, but I can show you guys it's still the same. But last time you guys saw this room was actually, expanded and probably went all the way back to here, if not farther, with bedroom units and showers and such. But this was what it originally was, minus the batteries on the floor. Those were added once we had gotten to space, when we had first left with this thing. And as you can see, it still has a buttload of gyros. The major difference is this was the original hangar. That's it. Big enough for a very small ship. And when me and my brother were designing it, we barely had any mods. We had the exploration enhancement mod, the replacing of vanilla ships and everything in space, but we did not have anything like the hangars or whatnot, so we still used the original hangar doors, so that's why they're small. And we didn't have the airlocks block, which is this one that you just go into and it literally just rotates. So the doors never technically open. I had a much and couple reactors. And just like the jump drive, that was added after we had left. So this is the O2 room. Displays. And then the underbelly was just empty besides that. I think it was 4 ion thrusters that we had in here. But other than that, this entire underside was empty. Because originally, when we were leaving, this right there was the bottom of the ship. It was just flat bottom. But then I had the last minute idea to kind of attempt to match the pattern that we had on the top and create the belly to be able to store stuff and give better protection for the reactors and the hydrogen tanks. Since, no one wants those to go boom. But we were blowing through resources trying to get this thing built and the pad extended and everything. And see, I just added that door so we could have something quick for getting in and out. I forgot it's not done yet. It looks done, but it's not. Then I had to turn off the blueprint because it was casting pretty much all the parts we were trying to take off. So as you see, the pad's been extended all the way back to here, and that was another thing that took a while, was trying to mine it out. But as you can clearly see, it is not big enough. So we are going to work on expanding it, but keeping our nice, railing system and everything that we like, and we're gonna have to create hookups to this ship and whatnot. But part of when we expanded, we obviously had to block off any of the parts that punched through, and made a nice little platform here. Since originally, if you guys remember, it only came down to, I want to say about right here. So now we have it go all the way down, have it have a little indent. I was debating about just having some go into there, because that's the top of the hangar, but honestly didn't really know what I could put there to make it do anything. Maybe once I have this expanded and everything, create a kind of lounge area for what would be travelers and everything, of anybody that would show up. That's something that it takes a bit more work, but I do enjoy, is trying to design something that is fully functioning but also looks nice, and would be simulating as if this was an actual spaceport and such. It kind of just gives a little bit of a challenge, because for the longest time, and even now with some of the stuff they added, Space Engineers isn't exactly one with major consequences unless you blow up your ship or your base or whatnot. Especially if you're playing the full vanilla version. There's, at least when I last played it, there was 3, maybe 4 different ships you'd ever see. One of them was just a little mine layer with pretty much no weapons. One was a little cargo transport, and the other was the military vessel that was maybe a quarter the size of the OG. So, even that wasn't really too much of a worry unless you did something stupid and crashed your ship. So that was the main reason for getting a lot of the mods that I do have, is making the game a bit more of a challenge. But on top of the different mods to make it okay, as I was saying before, I kept getting cut off. More challenging, on top of doing different mods to make it that way, is, obviously us. Different things we put into the game ourselves to make it a challenge. Just like Splitsy and his buddies, they do it to a bigger extreme, like no using cockpits and control chairs and everything, I watched one of their series, I can't remember what it was called, where they had that, and so they had to design button panels and other such stuff to be able to control their rovers, because they also had no flying vehicles at the time I was watching. And I know one of them pretty much made a Dance Dance Revolution rover, and that's how he controlled it, and he made it work. And I love watching them for the way they do that, and the different limitations they put on themselves, or scenarios they create, like his Scrapyard Survival one, where you pretty much can't build anything. If you want something, you have to find it on something else, whether it's rubble or another structure, and you gotta merge it onto yours, and that's the only way you can really expand. So, big sandbox game like this, you just gotta create your own challenges. I am well outside the bots range. And that's with me expanding the bots right there. And that connector was for the miner, because when I was having this being built, it was pretty much the same way as you guys saw the last one. It was going lengthwise, and there was only a tiny little spot about right here that you could try to lift up the mining ship. Speaking of which, helps if I'm not in the control panel. exactly have a abundance of everything, but we're not low. Definitely low on plates, though. Man. So, I'm trying not to do too drastically much of changes off camera, and I know, I built an entire ship off camera, but that happened just when I was building the pad for extending everything, and that kind of got carried away with how long I was taking to build. And then brother hit me up and we were playing some War Thunder, which I had false hope about the recording, because the action, I didn't notice it till after we had got off to go play Civ. Action recording was up, even though the overlay wasn't being shown on War Thunder the entire time. So I had hope that maybe it had fixed. So I loaded War Thunder back up, and, as I have to do every time when I was recording War Thunder, I had to, whoa. That was that glitch I was talking about a while ago. You step over that occasionally and it throws you.
Fuel low.
Anyway, every time when I would do a recording for War Thunder, I would have to exit out of action before I loaded up War Thunder, because I would always have to open it up as new. I guess I should get energy. To get the overlay to show to where I could actually start my recordings and everything. So I loaded it back up, and I loaded up action, and it still crashed War Thunder. So I really don't know why it randomly started having problems, but I'm still trying to fix it and hoping that it doesn't start happening to any other game. But between not being able to do that or the League of Legends, I'm trying to do more for Space Engineers, but with it still having that problem of crashing action when I'm paused for too long. I don't know why I went there when the hangar doors open. I'm trying not to just show you guys countless mining or like the ones like this where I'm spending, a couple hours hollowing out spaces and expanding the base and everything. Because I know it's not the most thrilling, but right now it's kind of the stage we're at. And until we can get enough resources to keep the OG going, for ammo and hydrogen, it's a little bit of effort to go into getting to that stage. Because just making the ammo for its weapons is pricey as all hell. I've been debating about making an actual mining rig instead of the modified trade merchant. But I think once I'm done expanding this line, I'm going to see what weapons the OG has, well, ammo it has in it, and I think we can go pop back over to that one station on that lake that we found and see if we can make it collapse. Definitely has enough room now, but probably not too terribly much. Only able to carry 36 of those. Now the question is, can I shove them through here? I can. Nice. So obviously the artillery's got some. We got extra. we have any large-scale rail ammo? If you hear crunching and cracking, my dog's chewing on a bone. We do not have any large rail. Nor do we have missiles or any Gatling ammo in it. Wait, does this have a programmable block on it? It does not. I need to fix that. That's the original one, and it's just kind of ugly looking in my opinion. I really wish I knew why the game was being a little bit laggy. Did I? Could have swore. There it goes. Cool. So... Not gonna lie, that startled me a little bit. That poor rubble down there. There we go. See, if I was fully armed, I would totally go take that on. But that was only one of the flaws of the original design, was the connector was right there. Which you can do if you're careful. Reaper. Spaz. Wait, we have multiple connectors? Hanger, isn't there? Yeah, I'm gonna go take that one out. We don't really have anything to put there. Originally, we were trying to design, well, we had a design for 2 ships to fit in here, but as you imagine, they were tiny little fighters, and they ran out of battery quick. So we ended up scrapping the design and just leaving without them. I should really slap a camera on right there. Nice. Oh, looks like everything got its ammo in it. Okay, so it looks like all the settings should still be proper. Yeah, it looks like it's all proper still. For you guys to see, since we're going to be going out to that attack, I'm going to remove the fog. Ugh, this was definitely Ace's version of the ship. It does not turn on a dime like mine. I had way more gyros on mine. Originally, we were just going to leave the planet with just the one ship, but we had enough resources. They had more than enough resources that I decided to build a second one, and that's when I threw on some of the changes, like more gyros and whatnot. Huh. I wonder where the heck we got those thruster components for, because we do not have the materials to make it. But obviously, with just the hydrogen thrust alone, obviously it's space-worthy, but with the ion, it really limits how much hydrogen you go through in space. I think I might slap on a couple atmospheric thrusters somewhere just to help out. But for the first ever ship, the big ship that me and my brother built, it's still our favorite, and it's been hard to beat. And mine was thornier. I had a lot more point-and-shoot weapons. I think I had like 5 or 6 railguns when we left. Downside if you have too many gyros is they weigh a fucking ton. So, you can flip around on a dime, but your ship's going to be a lot heavier. And add on to the fact that I was carrying pretty much all the excess cargo, and we only had enough on his ship for his bots to fix anything that needed fixing. Speaking of which, do I have any? Another reason that this was his. There's no build bots in the nose. I had 2 on mine and had the zone pushed far enough forward that it was just focused on repairing the front of the ship. Don't want to get too close to it. I'd say I sawed through that portion of the leg. I see I'm slowly getting closer. Might have to add some thrust in the nose. I think there's something loose in my nose. Yeah, some of the turrets like to shoot each other. Now that was a good hit. See, unfortunately, you really blow through your artillery with that much point and shoot. And as my brother proved in a 1v1 fight, the OG is also really good for ramming. Man, I must be revealing like interior turrets. So that weapons count is going up. Uh-oh. Need to get some altitude. Didn't like how close I was going to be coming to the ground. Man, this thing is just soaking up the bullets. And this is with, as you guys saw, all my weapons are selected to target their weapons. Camera? I think the camera's damaged. Sturdily built. Oh. Don't know how I feel about how close that came. I think think they're out of weapons. Either that or I'm out of ammo. I really hope that's coming from them and not me. Oof. See, and that's all light armor. If I remember right, this was before we changed to have a lot of the tip being heavy armor. No other cargo containers laying around? Wait, thrusters? Hell yeah. Oh, that's nice. We might be able to slap together a couple build bots from materials here, but damn. I didn't think that this was a ship station. I thought it was just a station. That is a lot of batteries. Neat place. I would have liked to explore it when it was undamaged, but it was enemy faction, so we would not have been able to get anywhere close to this place. Can I access those from in the hangar? I can. That works. Guess I'll go get some tubes. The convenient hole in the floor would be the only one that actually has something under it. Bad spot to drop. Get obliterated. Man, that exposure level for fucking radiation is really going up. Go. Nice. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Nice thing about the way that I designed the, what the hell? I have no idea what just happened. There should have been no reason that we couldn't, keep ourselves up. We have plenty of thrusters. Anyway, as I was saying before, rudely interrupted, way you design that is, besides some of the turrets that might take damage when we land like this, the hangar, well, the thrusters aren't even, that's weird. Normally, they touch before any of this down here touches. Although we do have extendable landing gears, we just don't actually have the landing gears put down onto it. Which I should probably fix. If the bots don't continuously tear them down. I like this landing gear, though. I like its style. I was hoping it would have gotten done with some of the others. There we go. Proper landing gear instead of just sitting. Now let's try to find some computers. Guarantee those turrets are going to be way too damaged to do anything. Two that. Ow. Really? That tiny little bump.
Low health.
That's something that still isn't fixed on Space Engineers. They've done a lot of work on it, but yeah, you can still kill yourself with a tiny little bump.
Energy low.
Now, with all those computers, did it prioritize? It didn't. Or maybe I just did not get enough. Thrusters. Now something we could do is use the landing gear and latch on to sections of this and bring it back to the base. Yeah, I really gotta quit doing that. And, yeah, that broke the landing gear. Like, completely. Forgot to turn the thrusters back on after, disconnecting. I hate when I do that. Although, as you all saw, the freaking landing gear just embedded itself into the ground.
Fuel low.
Oh.
Fuel critical.
Oh, I forgot to grab the bottles after I died. That explains a lot. Pretty much everything. Check what we have first. So this is either gonna go really good, and I get this, or it's gonna go absolutely fucking terrible. And I'm fairly certain this is still in station mode, although I don't see anything that has a control panel. I really gotta get a better grinder. And stop dying, so that speed actually stays up. Oh, you freaking build bots. What is on here that needs to be taken over? Spotlight. Oh, there's cargo containers in here? I didn't think there was going to be anything in this little section. Energy suppression field. I hate those things. Oh god. You know, there is a achievement I actually need to get involving this. I have to change my outfit multiple times in like 10 minutes. Well, thrilling, isn't it? There it is. Change astronaut style, color our skin 20 times in 10 minutes. And that gave time for radiation exposure to go down. Is it another cargo container? Okay, so that should have been everything that required ownership. What do you mean it's not possible? I am very lucky that that did not kill me. Conversion to ship, not possible. But yet, it's stationary. How far down does that go? Obviously, this is going to be a bit longer of a video than I was thinking. If that didn't work, there's something I can try, but it'd make me have to go into creative. Is that a landing? That is a landing gear. I was wondering where those were at. Here's hoping this doesn't just all come crashing down on me. Okay. Okay. Daytime, just so we can see when and if this blows up on me. Train. No. Oh, hadn't loaded in. There it is. So, should get rid of anything. Any ice that is inside of that. Okay, that should have taken out. Come on, game. Hey, can you not blow up the thing I've already blown up? I'm trying to salvage pieces here. Especially those specific pieces. So, that should have taken out any ice that was in there. And I own both those. I own the control panel. Everything else is thrusters, which does not need ownership. So we should be able to convert it to ship. Thank you. Yeah, that would happen. I'll take it though. So there must have been some sliver of ice inside of all that. So, not exactly how I wanted that to go. You gotta quit repairing all that shit. But that'll get us a lot of the thruster components that we need to get all the ion thrust onto this ship. I really want to make that piston share tension, but like, I am very close to the ground. I don't want that to wig out the ship, because believe me, weirder things have happened. That way the base bot should start disassembling it the moment I get in range. Which is where we'll end the video, because I think we actually just passed an hour. But you guys deserve a longer video after a little bit of a gap. Which I don't know how much I'm going to be able to record this week, because I'm working some longer hours at work. My manager's on vacation, so we're all picking up some extra hours. So, nice for payday. Don't know how nice it'll be for off time, since I only get one day off this week. And I'm going to have to jam in a lot of different crap into that one day. Just hoping I get home before I lose all my fuel. But that was a little demonstration of pretty much the base model of the OG. A little bit of more interesting stuff than just expanding the base for you. Well, unfortunately, I won't really be able to do much more than this video, since once I'm done with this, it's pretty much get dressed and head to work. Didn't want to come in extremely fast for if and when the bots yoink that off the landing gear. I didn't want it to just go flying. Ooh. Probably should have kept this in my ownership till I could gently set it down, but here's hoping the bots don't yoink the block that I'm using to hold it first. Probably gonna blow up part of the pad, but oh well. Oh, guess I didn't need to. Okay, now we really gotta get this connected back to the base. Really gotta get an easier hookup point to this thing. There we go. Well, that was a little exciting trip. And once we get done doing some runs, we'll have plenty of thruster comps. So, well, say a win-win. We gotta go out on the OG again for the first time in a long time, although we're definitely gonna have to find the blueprint I made of it before and cast it so we can get everything rebuilt the way it was. But this is where I will be. Yeah. Definitely my brother's version. Ball buster. Anyway, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I really hope to see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys